Yo, what is going on? This is That Guy Face with Face the Music Media. We are back again for another episode of How I Sin. In this video, we got Arturia's OPXAV. Let's get into it.
Oh yeah. Oh mama. Oh yeah. Face the music.
So, Arturia's OPXA is an emulation of Oberheim's OBXA, which is an 8-voice synthesizer from the 80s that's super popular and used by some of your favorite artists for sure. So if you know anything about synthesizers, you know about the synthesizer. That's a fact. One of my favorites, to be honest. So I'm super excited about this video. But anyway, before we get into that, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications so that you can be notified every time we drop a video. And hit a thumbs up on the video if you enjoyed the content. And leave a comment as well. The engagement does help with the channel, and so we would appreciate if you would do that. Also, if you didn't know, I am doing a song challenge where I'm dropping one single every month. And so I just released my second single, Go Time. Go check that out. A link will be in the description. First joint was Love for Two, so go check that out as well. All digital platforms. We got the lyrics featured on Genius. And so you can go to Spotify, Apple Music, and most other digital platforms that's out there. So go check it out. Also, make sure you go to realloops.com to cop the Sweet Fusion preset pack for Cherry Audio Synthesizer. I'm super excited to announce that Volume 2 is officially finished. We're just putting the last touches on the pack, so we'll be dropping that any day now. So I'm super pumped about that. Volume 2 is crazy. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into it, man. OPXA is a really simple synthesizer once you get to know it. Some of the features can be a little tricky at times, but it's all good. So let's go ahead and just go over the features of the synthesizer. So we have our master section here, volume, chorus section, master tune. We have our voices section here where you can determine the unison, and then your stereo and pan. And so the way they set this plugin up is if you go into stereo mode, you can see that little section there pops up. You can click on that and you can have all of these variables modulate, and it creates variation in the sound, so it sounds more like analog, kind of like a drift function in most VST synthesizers. So if you click on pan, you can pan the voices. That would be dope if they let you do both at the same time, where you can pan the voices and do the modulations here, but it is what it is. Anyway, we have our modulation section here. So you have your LFO, you have your modulation here for the frequency, and then you have your modulation for the pulse width modulation and volume. You have your oscillators here, oscillator 1, oscillator 2, and then you have cross modulation here where you can do some frequency modulation. You have your filter section here where, you know, of course, you got your filters. And this is how you control the levels of the oscillators here and the noise oscillator. And then you can switch between 2-pole and 4-pole. And then you can go into filter key track. Then you have your envelopes here, which you have your filter envelope, and then you have your amplitude envelope here for loudness. Then we have our arpeggiator, portamento controls, and then vibrato. Then we have down here our bend section. Have your pitch bend here, modulation here, and then down here are controls specific to Arturia. Anyway, if you've seen any of my other videos, you already know what time it is. You know what I like to do. I like to detune the oscillator. So let's jump into that. By default, oscillator 1 is active, oscillator 2 is not. So let's go ahead and activate oscillator 2. Okay, and you do that by just raising the volume level here. And as you can hear by default, it's already doing the detune sound anyway. And that's because if you come over here to the tune, it's already set to 0.08. So if I take that down to 0, there you go. So let's go ahead and boost that detune slowly. Beautiful. So let's go ahead and sweep the frequencies and see what it sounds like with the filter. Beautiful. So anyway, let's go ahead and change the oscillators over to square wave. And I want to go ahead and do some post width modulation. So in order to do that, what we're going to do is come over here to the modulation section here. We have the rate of the LFO here. We'll sync that to the tempo. I'll put it at 1 bar for starters. We'll leave it at sine wave for now. And for depth, we'll go about halfway. We'll turn on oscillator 1 and 2. And I have a chord progression now playing in the background. I'm going to go ahead and play that and see what it sounds like. Let me turn this volume down just in case. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and boost the depth here, and then I'm going to sweep through the post width here and see what we come up with. Beautiful. I'm going to see if I can get a deeper sounding pulse width out of that. So let's go ahead and see if we can do that there. Beautiful. I love that. I think what I want to do is have the filter modulate with the envelopes and kind of sweep and see what we can come up with. I'm going to bring that sustain down, bring the release up a little bit. And this is how you control the amount of modulation from the envelopes here. So let's just take a listen. Beautiful. I love the way that sounds. Anyway, I'm going to change this back to the saw wave here. And so I'm going to do some frequency modulation here. So in order to do that, all we have to do is sync oscillator 2 to oscillator 1, and then we can sweep through the frequency. So let's just take a listen to that. what we can do is modulate that. So what I'm gonna do is come over here and we'll modulate just oscillator 2's frequency. Let's see what that sounds like. Woo! That sounds amazing. All right, so I think what I want to do from here is go ahead and fool around with the voicing over here. So in order to do that, we'll just choose which one we want. We'll go with stereo for now. And then once we boost the spread, all of these will start to modulate and you'll see it in here. So let's just take a listen. That sounds crazy. I want to add some Portamento and see what I can get out of that. Let's take a listen. Beautiful. I love that. Okay, let's go to the effects. We have 3 slots for effects. Let's start with, let's take a listen to the Bitcrusher, see what that sounds like. I like. Okay, and from there, I'm gonna go into the delay. And so let's go ahead and take a listen to that. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and add a reverb. All right, so let's go ahead and take a listen. I'm just gonna fool around with some controls and see what I come up with. Beautiful. That sounds so dope. And you see how quick and simple it was for me to make that sound. I don't know. This might be one of my favorite Arturia plugins. I don't know. Anyway, that's the end of this video. You guys let me know what you think about this video down in the comments below. Have you fooled with OPXA? I mean, where do you rank it in the list of Oberheim plugins? I might have to do a video doing the top Oberheim plugins. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments below. I think I have 3 videos covering Oberheim plugins so far. By the way, the link to that will be in the description, so check out the playlist for the Oberheim plugins as well. But anyway, my thoughts on this plugin. I love this plugin. It sounds amazing. The quality is there. It's easy to use and it's fun. These are all the things that I look for when I'm using a VST synth. So again, this is that guy Face the Music Media. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed. Hit the bell for notifications so you can be notified every time I drop a video. And give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the content. Drop a comment below as well. The engagement does help with the algorithm, so we would appreciate that. Also, make sure you go to realloops.com to cop the Sweet Fusion preset pack. Like I said, volume 2 is on the way, so you don't want to miss that. But anyway, man, this is that guy Face the Music Media. We out of here.
Wow.
Peace.